Bezat Hashem, we're back at the Limud Shulchan Aruch, Halachot Shabbat Siman Reish Mem Hey. Today is the 13th of the Tishrei, Tuesday, the third day of the week of Parashat Shabbat Chol Hamoed Sukkot. Bezat Hashem will be continuing or Siv Dalet. Rav Zohar is going to read to us all. Bechavot.
יכול ישראל ליתן לאינו יהודי מעות להתעסק בהם.
Right. So a Jew is allowed to give money, maybe like a stock market or something. Give him money for a goy to make business with that money. Sounds like on Shabbat. Sounds to me like so far like a stock market. You give a goy $10,000, he's going to deposit, he's going to withdraw, he's going to buy, he's going to sell. So that's going to be allowed. אף על פי
שאינו יהודי נושא ונותן בהם בשבת, חולה כמו כל השכר בשווה.
Good. So this is not like a stock market. Maybe a stock market is working for you. But here it says, you're telling a guy, here's $1 million, go buy and sell, whatever you want to do. And all the profit that you make, even from Shabbat, the Shulchan Aruch says you're allowed to split evenly. Why? Continue. מפני שאין
מלאכה זו מוטלת על ישראל
לעשותה. Because the whole point, very important aspect, maybe I mentioned it, maybe not, but it's kedai to say it again. What is the most problem with a Jew telling a goy to do something on Shabbat and why it's asur? The most important element is because the job should have been done by a Jew. If something that has to be done by a Jew, you tell a goy to do, that's asur. You hear? So over here, the rabbi wants to point out again, vividly and explicitly, and expressly as much as he can. Over here, you gave a goy $1 million, and you told him go do business for yourself. So over here, there's no obligation on the Jew to do any business. A Jew could just sit with his $1 million in his bank account and do nothing. There is no obligation. You want to make profit, you go, you earn. If you don't do nothing, right? There is no obligation. Here on Shabbat, I need X, Y, and Z to be done on Shabbat. By myself, I must do it. If there is no goy, I would need to do it myself, right? And if it's not Shabbat, I would do it, right? So since there is an obligation, there is a responsibility of a Jew, those things you're not allowed to tell goy go to perform. Because he is exchanging your responsibility and he's doing it for you. That's the problem. Where here the Shulchan Aruch says no, you gave him $1 million to go sell and buy. That why he's not doing it for you. He's doing it for himself. Shenomar. We cannot. So the rabbi says here, מפני שאין מלאכה זו מוטלת על ישראל לעשותה. Because this is not obligation on a Jew to do. There's no feasibility that he would be doing it. Shenomar, continue from there. Shenomar, no? Shulchan Aruch. האין היהודי עושה שליחותו. Yeah, we're not saying that he's making any. He's not a messenger. He's not somebody who's doing a task for a Jew here. When a Jew gave him $1 million to do buy and sell, he's not doing it as a messenger for a Jew. Therefore, it's allowed.
How does the Torah look at that? It's like as if he's borrowing money.
It doesn't matter.
If you're investing with him, isn't that like?
I'm not investing with him. This is not the same. No, Habibi. This is nothing to do with investments. I gave him a principle to go do business. It's like I'm giving a goy, I'm renting him a taxi, right?
How am I giving it to him? As a loan? He has to
No. I'm giving him as that. I'm giving him, here's $1 million, go do business with it.
As that, so it's a loan?
No, it's not a loan.
What is it?
I'm telling him to go perform, buy and sell, and the profits will be splitting. No, it's not a loan.
So it's a partnership.
It's not a partnership 100%. It's like a stock market. No, stockbrokers. What do stockbrokers do?
Stockbrokers, you're still buying
Again, a
shares in
stockbroker.
the company.
Habibi, when a stockbroker buys on your behalf, what is he considered? A loan taker?
No.
So that's it. What?
He's a broker.
Good. So that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about here. I don't know however you want to. For sure, it's not a loan. For sure, it's not a gift. He's working with your money. I don't understand what. I mean,
I got it.
why do I have to give him a title?
No, is she working with my money, or he's gonna give my money to someone, or he's just a middleman, or he's a broker?
Yeah. So that's what Shulchan was talking. It sounds like that's why I told you. It sounds like he's talking about a broker.
Okay, so let's see.
It continues the Shulchan Aruch. Continue. Look what Shulchan Aruch says even. Right, and nobody knows where the money came from. Nobody knows this is a Jew's money. This business is run by a Jew. I give him $1 million. He does whatever he does. Because it's not. Oh no. So now Rema is gonna be more elaborate here. So what does that mean? V'davka b'kahai gavna. And so it says specifically in what situation? What's the situation that's allowed? No. Habibi, one second. V'davka b'kahai gavna. It's specifically in this specific scenario that Shulchan Aruch said. Why? Says it, Rama.
שהאינו יהודי נושא ונותן לחוד עם המעות.
Yeah, because the goy is specifically dealing with the money. Right? So since the goy does whatever he wants with the money, that's his problem. If he wants to do Shabbat, it's his problem. He doesn't have to. So therefore, all the profits are split half and half. אבל
אם כל אחד עוסק בימו.
Continue, yeah. Oh, sorry. But if indeed each individual have to perform a task on its own day,
וישראל צריך לעסוק נגד מה שעסק האינו יהודי בשבת. Asur. Read the word. Asur. But how, like this. If this transaction that the Jew gave money to a goy, so the goy does on Shabbat, and the Jew comes and does the Shabbat Malacha on Sunday, opposite what the goy did. So in that case, we're going back to our original scenario. Sounds like when there was no condition made. They are in the business where a goy has to work for Shabbat, and a Jew, have to work on Sunday. And therefore, what happens here now to split Shabbat profits will be Asur because there was no condition. Mishnah Berurah is going to explain. Okay, continue. V'Israel. V'Israel 6. Does this agreement have to be in writing?
Well, it looks like this agreement is not in writing. That's what we're talking about here. We'll see. We'll get to Mishnah Berurah. He'll explain. Bet yourself.
בישראל 6 לא משכון, מן האינו יהודי, העין לקמן, סימן,
Shin Chaf Hey. 325. Halacha 2. Number 2 and 3. He says differently. He has differently. Now, this is your question. What happens if it's a loan? More than that, right? He says over here, what happens if a Jew gave $1 million to a goy, and he took a collateral for that $1 million, and then he tells the goy to make business with that $1 million. Now, Rama says, in that case, there will be a big problems. There will be a different kind of problems. I don't know. You have to look in 325. What? So it sounds like a loan. Now it's a loan. And maybe...
But this is specifically, he gave him money for Shabbat, or he gave him money whatever. Obviously,
No, he says general. The Shulchan Aruch says generally, I gave $1 million to a goy, and I told him go make money, and he makes money through the whole month, and then he gives me whatever, a whole year, right?
Okay.
So that includes Shabbat there also. So the Shulchan Aruch says you're allowed to take schar of Shabbat. You're allowed to take the profits from the profits. You didn't go into partnership with him. You didn't go. So it says in this kind of case. In this kind of case, the condition is A. No, one of the most important conditions we notice that nobody's allowed to know that the business is run through a Jew's money. Yeah, I gave a guy $1 million. He opened a T-Mobile store right here next to my community, and on Shabbat even. He's making money out there all year, right? So I'm not a partner with him.
Yeah, I gave him a loan. So what's the problem?
Right. So you gave him a loan. You gave him a loan, or you gave him just principal.
I think we have to look on the bottom, no?
Okay, we'll get there in a second. Just 1 second. Before we go to the bottom, I want to understand exactly. I don't want to say it's a loan. That's the thing. Because you see, Ramah says that right away there's a problem. At the end of Ramah, he says, look around. What happens if it's a loan? You should go look at Halachot 325, Siman 325. Okay, we're not going to go there right now. Let's go into Mishnah Berurah. Okay? Tet Zayin. Siv Katan Tet Zayin. Mishnah Berurah says, he's talking right in the middle of the halacha of Shulchan Aruch. Mipnei she'eino, because nobody melacha zun muteret al Israel. So he says, like we said, that very important general rule of
Did we already in the Mishnah Berurah?
I'm looking at the Mishnah Berurah right now. Siv Katan Tet Zayin.
Okay, on the bottom, yeah.
Mipnei she'im hayta muteret alav asur medina. Because it says like this: if the task was the responsibility of a Jew to perform, even though the goy is doing it on Shabbat, will be prohibited. Why? Because the goy is doing it specifically for the Jew. As we already said, if there was no condition, that's what I told you, right? There was no condition in the beginning. This is talking about the Shulchan Aruch specifically saying there was no condition preceding where that if a Jew there's a partnership. And the Jew works on the regular day and the goy works on Shabbat, like we said before, there was no such condition. This is what we're talking about here. That would be Asur, because the goy is working on Shabbat on behalf of a Jew. Okay. Yud Zayin in Shulchan Aruch is... What?
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, I was clearing my throat.
Okay. Yud Zayin is Shenomar HaSha'ayin Yehudi Oseh Shchenuto. We're not speculating here. We cannot say that a goy is working for a Jew in that scenario because we don't know. We don't know what's going on here. There's no what's his name? Nobody even thinks that this T-Mobile store because the Jew is not even partner here. Shnomar mishum mechzek schar Shabbat leika. We cannot say that it's like a goy is working for the Jew on Shabbat and it gets a salary. The arehu be'avla'a. Because over here there is no specific work, there's no specific splitting the money from the Shabbat. It's splitting the whole week's or month's income. And go later on, we'll learn in Siman 307, Halacha 3. How I explain over there that this is going to be allowed. Okay. And so in Mishnah Berurah number 18, so you said, because nobody knows who really belongs to this business to. We cannot
say, repeat the last one.
He says,
summarize the last one so I can distract you.
Right, the Shulchan Aruch said in the 18 in Mishnah Siv Katan Aleph of Mishnah Siv Katan Yudchet 18. We cannot say that a goy is doing is sent by a Jew, and also he says Shulchan Aruch said the business has no mention of owned by a Jewish guy because remember I just gave him the money. So he says Mishnah Berurah, since that's the case, Retzono Lamar to explain. Siv Katan Yudchet in Mishnah Berurah, 4 lines from the bottom. Retzono Lamar, no, this is the 5th line, 5 line from the bottom. Retzono Lamar, you there?
Just a second, I can hardly hear you.
רצונו לומר, you there?
Yeah.
רצונו לומר, what Shulchan Aruch meant to say, דמשום מראית העין שיאמרו הבריות שהעין היהודי שכירו הוא ליקה גם כן. We cannot suspect that the people will say from there's no speculation of Marit Ayin, because that there is no goyim to say that the Jew hired him, because don't forget, nobody knows that the Jew has some kind of part in the store. The halo ena esek nikar shen mihu, because nobody knows who T-Mobile belongs to. Jew has part of it because he gave money to the goy, but nobody knows really that the Jew is any partnership with him. She'im hayad nikar, but everybody already knows. If he tells his people, you know what, this T-Mobile, buy only from this T-Mobile. Why? Because I own it. I have part in it. Ve'nikra al Shem Israel haya asur. But everybody starts to know, the neighborhood knows already that this store is partially owned by a Jew, or partnership, or whatever. Not partnership, or he owns it, or he gave the money, he's the principal, right? He's a silent partner. Then it will be prohibited to take the income from Shabbat. כמו שכתוב סימן רמ"ז, as we already learned it, סימן 243.
As I remember the gas station in Coney Island, the Amoco, between next to Old Bagel.
Yeah, it's not Amoco. That was BP. I know what you're talking about. They have kosher food there in the whole Zach. Yeah. You're talking about BP with the car wash, right?
Yeah, with the car wash, yeah.
Yeah, right next to Old Bagel. I know what you're talking about. That's owned by a Jew. Yeah, what it's all, they sell gas on Shabbat?
I remember somebody said that it's a gas station. It's going to be open on Shabbat.
I mean, the question is, if there's any work being done, the guy comes in and pumps up his car. What's your business? And today you have everything with what's his name, electronically, no?
Everything is automatic, yeah.
Everything's automatic also. Okay, I get you. Okay.
But I think it had to do something with Marit Ayin. Also, that the Jew has the business open and public, and the Jew.
But I think he's a partner there, no? He was a real outright owner.
I don't know the details. I'm just bringing up.
One second. Don't forget, there is also.
I mean, I'm sure.
No. We could say simply here, even let's say he owns the whole thing outright. Let's say, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, but it's a company. BP is a company. BP, they dictate to you. It's a franchise. They dictate to you the terms. It's just like remember that government make you print money business we spoke about.
Yeah.
It will fall under that scenario. Because if if BP knows you're closing on one of the days of the week, you might lose your license.
But what about the car wash? What about the store?
No, the car wash doesn't have to be open, and the guy is there already anyway. I don't think the car wash was open. People would say that he would sell gas and the store would be open. So there's a Muslim guy sitting and selling. Okay, a guy is doing whatever he's doing. What's my business? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So over here the guy. So lechoira from the. So we already said that in this case the prophets would have to go to Goy on Shabbat, as we learned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he sells gas, he sells whatever the products he sells. So okay, I'm sure he has a rabbi. I think Rabbi Eli Mansour is a student of Rabbi Eli Mansour. I think so. Don't worry about it. They're good. They give out. You know what's going on there. They give out.
I'm just asking as an example. How would that?
Okay, well, listen, I'm sure there's ways. I'm sure there's ways to go around it. But I told you one most important aspect is it's a franchisee. I don't think you have much option to open or not, especially a gas station, BP.
Yeah, like these kosher Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. I don't know about Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. I think they if they close for a day, then I think gas has to be moved all the time. I think there's a whole. I think there's a government regulations on it also. I don't think there's government regulations on donuts. You know what I mean? I guess there's a lot of regulations about. You know that, right? Crazy regulations. It's like it has to be constantly moving. It has to be there. I highly doubt that What happens even on their holidays?
Why does the gas have to be moving? What's the?
I don't know. It's a tricky business. Who knows? Whatever. I'm
I
not.
don't know. I have no clue.
I think there's a lot of regulations there. Okay, so let's leave it at that for now. Okay, כמו שכתוב בסימן, יום טוב, ברוך הבא. כתוב סימן רשמם, כאילו עושה, אוקיי, גבי מרחץ. Just like about a bed house, same thing, עיין שם. ומכל מקום, כל זה אינו מותר, אלא כשלא יאמר, לאין היהודי שיתעסק בהם בשבת. All this is what? מכל מקום, it says Mishnah Berurah. With me? The fourth line from the bottom. ומכל מקום, כל זה אינו מותר. All this is not allowed, unless אלא כשלא יאמר לאין היהודי שיתעסק בהם בשבת. As long as you didn't tell a guy to work for you on Shabbat, then it's mutar. Elo she'ayin Yehudi ba'atzmo also can. You're telling the guy, he didn't tell him anything, he does on his own. וכמו שכתב כאין זה בסעיף, as we learned already, we'll learn in the next סעיף. Asur, Yutet says, Mishnah Berurah says, he's explaining Ramah now. So Ramah said, where he says Asur, it says like this, look back into the Shulchan Aruch, in Ramah, וישראל צריך לעסוק נגד מה שעשה כהן היהודי בשבת. So he says, why is that asur? Why is it asur when a goy does Shabbat and you go and you tell him you're doing the responsibility of Sunday? Why? אם לא שהתנה עמו, הנה, what I explained to you. Look at that Yutet, you with me? In Shulchan Mishnah Berurah? אם לא שהתנה עמו בזה קודם שישתתף עמו. Unless they made a condition before they commenced the business. Before they commence the partnership. If there was no condition, then in that scenario, it would be asur prohibited in this kind of case that the Jew tells him now. Remember, as long the whole condition part is to say the Jew has zero responsibility for Shabbat. But if there was no condition, that means the Jew has responsibility on Shabbat. And even though the Jew does work on Sunday and the goy doesn't, since the commencing of the partnership was done improperly, in that case, says Ramah, it would be asur. You want to do hey? Until the guy comes. Yeah, let's do hey and vav. I think it's very small. Let's go. You have time, Zohar?
A little bit.
Mazi a little bit. How many minutes?
5?
Okay, we will be finished. Let's do it fast because there's not much. It's very simple now. Hey.
מותר לישראל ליתן סחורה לאינו יהודי למכור אם קצץ לו שכר.
Oh, good. So I deal with toilet papers, right? I have a lot of toilet papers, let's say. So I gave it I gave it to the goy. So it says מותר לישראל ליתן סחורה לאין היהודי למכור. He's allowed to give him all the material that he has for sale. אם קצץ לו שכר, even if I'm going to tell him you sell X, Y, and Z and I pay you salary or whatever. ובלבד, and the guy sells it on Shabbat and I'll take all the profits, no problem. ובלבד, continue from there.
Even if you tell him you're paying salary?
Yes. You're paying him a salary. I'm paying you.
Salary for that day.
Habibi, 1 second. Wait a minute. Let's get one thing at a time. Shulchan Aruch says, listen, I have 10,000 boxes of toilet paper or tissue boxes. Go sell it. I'm paying you $12 an hour. All the time that you put in, I'll pay you. Now, the guy goes and sells on Shabbat. It's your business. I didn't say you go sell on Shabbat. So now what happens? Good. Im katzatz lo sachar. As long as you made a salary with him. Ava ubilvad. There has to be a condition. What's the condition? Says Mishnah Shulchan Aruch.
ובלבד שלא אומר לא
Or b'Shabbat.
מקור בשבת.
יפה מאוד. I didn't tell him to, as long as you didn't say a word, sell on Shabbat.
Uh-huh.
That's it. I gave you $1 million worth of merchandise. You sell whatever you want to sell, how you want to sell. I want my money out of that. And you get paid for whatever. I don't think it's the Sachar over here. It's not saying commission. You told him you're going to pay him a salary. And there is such a thing. Salesmen get salaries. Remember that. So yes or no? Sometimes, yeah. So here he gets a salary. But I didn't tell him to work on Shabbat, but he's working on Shabbat. So he gets paid for Shabbat also. Okay. Again, he gets paid for the entire week. Remember, that's the concept of a waiter. How are you allowed to wear? You have waiters on Shabbat. How you pay them?
waiters?
Yeah. Make Kiddush in the shul. How does the waiter get paid on Shabbat?
Yeah, you gotta make in advance.
Right, they make a work in advance. And you pay him for the whole advancement for the Shabbat included. Let's go, continue.
You do a contract price, yeah, you know.
Tanur shechalko Israel. Continue.
תנור?
Yeah, שלקחו.
שלקחו ישראל משכון מאינו יהודי.
So you took a oven from a goy as a collateral.
Okay.
Continue. וקיבל עליו.
וקיבל עליו היינו יהודי שמה
שיעלה שכר התנור.
שכר התנור ייתן לישראל בריבית
קצוצה
שכרותיו.
מעותיו. מותר ליטול שכר שבת. So he says like this. So a Jew took a collateral, what? The oven. וקיבל עליו היינו יהודי שמה שיעלה שכר התנור ייתן לישראל בריבית קצוצה מעותיו. So I took the collateral, the oven, but I didn't take it from his possession. It's I put a lien on his tanur, on his oven, right? And now, so he says, the goy says, וקיבל עליו היינו יהודי, so the goy took on himself, שמה שיעלה שכר התנור ייתן לישראל בריבית מעותיו. So a goy on Shabbat uses the oven, he warms up food for the people who cook, or he bakes or cooks, whatever, right? On Shabbat. So whatever it brings in as an income, that would be the payment. That would be the payment of the interest to the Jew on the money that he borrowed. Remember, the Jew just has a lien on the oven. He didn't take possession. So the oven is still there, like a pizza shop. Let's say a pizza bakery. The ovens cost $200,000-$300,000, right?
Yeah.
So the goy took a loan from you, $300,000. But he still runs his business on Shabbat, which is not a problem. Let him do it. It's his goy. He's a goy. He's running business on Shabbat. But he says that even from Mutar litol sachar Shabbat, even at Shabbat, that goy is working with this oven. So basically, it's a simple thing. It's a simple transaction. What's the difference? How? He makes the business. He pays interest. Why? לפי ליטול שכר שבת, you're allowed to take the income from Shabbat, from that, as a payment for the interest that he owes you, the goy, $300,000, whatever, on the loan. לפי, why? לפי שהוא. Yeah, because it's in the property possession of a goy. ואין? Right. Even though the Jew has a lien on the product, on the item, technically speaking, the Jew doesn't own it. He only gonna own it when he takes possession. If he defaults on the loan. If he doesn't default on the loan, what's the problem? Okay, continue. וגם
אין הישראל אומר לא לעסוק בשבת.
And also, the Jew didn't tell the goy, go work on Shabbat. There, in an additional condition,
והיינו יהודי כי טרח בנפשי טרח לקיים
no. And the goy, when he is working actually on Shabbat, what is he doing? He is fulfilling his obligation. He says, listen, I took a loan with interest and I'm going to have to pay back. So therefore, when he is earning on Shabbat, there's nobody there. When he is earning on Shabbat, he is earning it on his own, nothing to do with the Jew. Baruch Adonai L'olam, Amen, Amen. Let's finish up over here. I have Malkiel came in. He wants to learn Shulchan Aruch now.
אתה מרגיש טוב מהחלב הזה?
Yeah. Now, whoever needs to make a parnasa will go make parnasa without any problems, without benachat v'simcha, only samnachat v'simcha, only with good things, and without any problems at all. Make a lot of money and with good health.
Amen.
הצלחה רבה.
החלב הזה,